All right, so today we're switching things up a bit, diving into something, well, maybe unexpected.
Yeah, definitely not our usual deep dive.
Definitely not. We're tackling a song this time.
Which might seem odd.
It might, but hear me out, because we're going deep with Van Halen's Jump.
A classic for sure. But beneath that party anthem energy, there's some real philosophy going on.
Exactly. That's what caught my attention. Like, at first glance, you think it's just about getting pumped up.
Right, pure adrenaline. But then those lyrics hit you.
They really do.
Yeah,
And that's what we're digging into. It's got this whole vibe of facing fears, taking chances.
absolutely. And that's what's so relatable, that feeling of being stuck, wanting to break free.
And the song just cuts right to it. Like,
Yeah.
right off the bat, in the first verse, you get this sense of the singer having seen it all, overcome obstacles.
Totally. It's like they're saying, hey, I've been through the ringer, know what it's like.
And that's what makes it powerful. It's not bragging, it's empathy.
Exactly. They get it, they understand the listener's struggles, and they're offering encouragement.
And this is where that line, you got to roll with the punches to get to what's real, really stood out to me.
It's just a powerful line because it acknowledges that growth, that journey to understanding. It's not always easy.
Right. It's not some perfectly linear path.
No, there are going to be setbacks, challenges, those punches that life throws at you.
But it's about pushing through, about being willing to learn and adapt.
And that's what's so relevant to our listeners, right? Those who are actively seeking knowledge, always looking for those aha moments, you don't get there by playing it safe.
And that leads us to the chorus, where the song really kicks into gear. Jump.
And that repetition, it's not just for emphasis, it's intentional, mirroring how fear can hold us back. It's like that voice in your head saying, no, don't do it, stay in your comfort zone.
It's so true. And you can almost picture it. That record machine, the lyrics mentioned, like it represents those routines, those familiar sources of information that we can get stuck in.
Exactly. It's comfortable, familiar, but it might also be limiting.
And jump becomes this urgent call to break free from that, to explore the unknown, embrace new ideas and perspectives, to dive into that deep end, even if it feels a little scary at first.
Which I think a lot of us can relate to. I know I can. Even starting this podcast, putting my thoughts and ideas out there for everyone to hear, it was terrifying at first.
I feel that. Taking that initial leap, it's always the hardest part.
It is, but once you do, that's where the real growth happens. And that takes us to the second verse, where the song gets even deeper. You say you don't know, you won't know until you begin.
And that's so key, right? We often want all the answers up front, need that certainty.
But true understanding, it rarely works that way.
It's about embracing that uncertainty, that willingness to explore without having all the pieces in place.
Exactly. And that ties directly back to how you approach this show, always coming from a place of curiosity, of being open to learning and growing with each conversation.
And just like with anything worthwhile, it's not always going to be easy. There will be times when you stumble, when you face those punches.
Absolutely. But it's about picking yourself back up and using those experiences as opportunities to learn and refine your approach.
Which brings us back to that central command, that jump. Now, having gone through the verses, does it hit differently? Does that repetition take on a new meaning?
Absolutely. It goes beyond just overcoming fear. It becomes an invitation to embrace the exhilaration of the unknown. That feeling of taking a leap of faith and seeing where you land.
And you can feel that energy building throughout the song. The music itself, especially that driving synth riff, so different from what you'd typically hear in rock music at the time.
Right. It's like the song itself is embodying that message of breaking free from expectations, of forging a new path. And that, I think, is the biggest takeaway for our listeners.
It's not just about the lyrics, it's the whole package.
Exactly. Because it doesn't promise success, doesn't offer easy answers. What it does offer is the experience itself, the chance to discover something new, to challenge your perspectives.
And that's something we can all apply to our lives, right? Whether it's exploring a new subject, questioning our assumptions, or simply trying something outside of our comfort zones.
Think about it. Where in your own life are you hesitant to jump? What's holding you back?
Because sometimes the most rewarding journeys begin with a single step, a single leap of faith.
A jump into the unknown.
Exactly. And who knows what you might discover on the other side?